Beekeepers, why do you continue to waste your money buying queens? I'm in Michigan. It's 2025. 2017. The spring of 2017, I had a lot of losses. Came out of winter with just a few colonies, and I wasn't treating for varroa mites. So I tried foliage Russian bees, queens, and I bought a bunch of packages for those queens, and I split those packages up. Well, I ended up splitting the packages a month later for the queens that I got from foliage Russian bees. But the queens that I got from foliage Russian bees weren't resistant to varroa mites, and the packages had queens that I think were old queens because a lot of those died that summer. So I said to myself, I will never ever buy queens again. Since then, queens have gotten more expensive. As far as I can tell, Main Lake has the cheapest queen available. For a while, they weren't selling queens because queens don't do very well in shipping. Foliage Russian bees, the second package of bees or queens I got from him, got too hot, and a lot of them died during shipping, and a lot of them died after shipping, and I didn't get a refund on that order. So that's a waste of money buying queens. And a lot of queens come from commercial beekeepers. When they want to requeen every spring. So what do? They take that old queen along with some of their old bees that are wore out, and they stick them in packages and they sell them to backyard beekeepers. And then when your bees die, they blame the backyard beekeeper because you're inexperienced. When in fact, it was the old queen and the wore out bees that were exposed to toxic chemicals out in California almonds. Okay, so you're going to have better luck breeding your own queens. I've been doing this, well, I was doing it before 2017. So 8 years after not buying queens from anybody else, I've been breeding queens. And I've continuously had honeybees for 12 years and never lost all my honeybees. So my genetic line can be traced back to the very first package of Italian bees I got. And here it is, 2025, an Italian queen, the cheapest I've seen is Man Lake's $39 for a queen, and you got to pay for shipping. And it's a waste of money. I have a neighbor a half mile away. He's got 2 colonies, and Michigan Bee Works usually ends up being in Michigan, brings these bees back, sets them out mid-June. It's June 11th, so he may set them out here soon. I got through winter. Well, what happened was 2 years ago, I had 264 colonies, and I created 150 new colonies. And I didn't get set up with a commercial beekeeper to buy those colonies. I thought I could just make a few calls at the end of a summer, early fall. So I made all my colonies the same size, took my large colonies, broke them down, killed my older queens. And nobody bought any of them. They would have to be a commercial beekeeper that was going down south because they weren't large enough to winter out in the cold, but even though I could bring them inside. But what happens is, your colonies are too small. Instead of living 5 to 6 months, I can only get 3 to 4 months because of all the toxic chemicals the crop farmers put into the environment, okay? I'm surrounded by crop farmers here in mid-Michigan. And it's hard for me to get colonies through winter, even if I bring them inside, because the worker bees will die and there won't be enough bees for the colony to restart. And it depends on the weather. It depends on how long it takes for it to warm up. So anyway, I ended up with 9 colonies in 2024 May, and I lost 4 more. So by June of 2024, I had 5, and then I lost 1 queen, but they were successful making new queens. So last year, I made 1 new queen, or the bees did. I didn't intentionally do it. So, and then I lost the queen in April. So I put in a frame of brood for that colony, and they were unsuccessful. They had a virgin queen that didn't get mated. And then I suspect I lost she was a drone layer in May. I lost another queen, but the colony was full of drones. So I have a lot of drones. I think I have drones from 5 different queens, and I have a neighbor a half mile away. I can see his colonies. He has 2 colonies. And if Mid-Michigan Bee Works sets out 30 colonies or so, a half mile away, I'll have plenty of drones here. But even if he doesn't set his bees out, I still think I will get a good genetic line out of the virgin queens that I get mated, or the virgin queens that get good genetic line from the drones. There should be enough drones to get a good laying queen with a good genetic line. So anyway, like I said, Man Lake sells the cheapest queen that I saw on Google, because I thought about, well, what if I wanted to buy queens? How much would they cost me? $39. And the most expensive one I saw on the internet was a Randy Oliver queen. It was like $52. Oh my God, are you guys really that serious that you will waste your money on a queen? They don't make queens resistant to toxic chemicals, and I don't think there's such a thing as a queen being resistant to varroa mites, all right? And also, I noticed I have varroa mites. When I was going through checking for virgin queens, I saw some varroa mites on some of my workers, and I'm actually able to take a worker out, hold her in my fingers, and get the varroa mite out and squeeze them. So I killed quite a few, but what I'm going to do here, as soon as I verify I have a laying queen in these colonies here in about 5-6 days, maybe 7 at the most, I'm going to go through, and all the colonies that didn't get a laying queen, they lost their virgin queen, and I'm going to combine them with the other colony. And I've got 3 down there that have laying queens, the queens that I had from last year. I'm going to combine those 3 colonies into one. I'm going to take 2 queens, cage them, and put them in some combined colonies that lost their virgin queen. And I'm going to end up doing some acylic acid treatment. And the ones that don't have any cat brood, which is, I'm going to combine the 3 that have queens into one colony. And however many colonies I have with a new laying queen, I'm going to do acylic acid treatment to get rid of all the varroa mites at that time. But then the one that has all the cat brood, I'm going to have to treat that one several times. That's the only thing that's bad about using acylic acid, is it doesn't kill the varroa mites in the cat brood. So again, why do you guys waste your money on buying queens? They're too damn expensive. They're not resistant to toxic chemicals, and I don't really think they're varroa mite resistant. And there's a good chance it's going to be artificially inseminated. That's the other thing too. Those queens aren't as good as the ones who are actually out flying and getting good, healthy drones. And there's a good chance you're going to get an old queen from last year from our commercial beekeepers. Americans are very dishonest. Your politicians are a bunch of liars, and majority of Americans are liars. So what's to keep commercial beekeepers from putting an old queen in with a package of their old bees and selling them to you? All right? Thank you.